to be able to come in. And here's the other beauty to what we can do. We can give our clients a link where they don't have to leave their home to pay their bills. They pay their bills online.
Makes sense.
Mm. But then the other part that I found out for the phones was I had a friend, I didn't finish telling you. So that was the first reason, okay? The second reason was I had a so-called friend, not a friend, but an associate that I grew up with.
Okay.
And he had been reaching out on Facebook. And I was like, no, not into that. So then finally my son said, Mom, if he keeps on reaching, and you know him from when you were 11 years old, why won't you say okay?
Mm-hmm.
So my son went through his page and everything. And he said, Mom, he's fine. It's okay. Can do it. So I did it. Talk to him. And then there'd be times when we would be, because he's a different religion. And we'd be talking like religious stuff.
Okay.
And eventually I found out that he was in a halfway house.
Oh, okay.
And I found out that he actually had a criminal record. And the phone that he was using, that all of them can use, are only prepaid. Why? Because they have no credit. They have, right? So the same thing was happening in halfway homes or homeless shelters. Anybody that had a record, they couldn't get a contract, none of that. Well, who is the highest percentage of incarcerated people? Us.
Yeah, Black people.
So that was the other reason.
So what's your program with that? Are you saying that that's a niche for us?
That's a niche.
Market to people that may have a record to buy phones from us?
Yeah.
Not to hire them, but to have them buy the phone, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Or do you have one to hire them too?
If they get out and they're having a problem, because I also did not know, okay, that when people are incarcerated, after they get out, they still have to pay money, reparations or something like that. I didn't know that. How are they going to pay if they can't get a job?
Makes sense.
So that's why it is incumbent on us to create, whoever can, create jobs in those areas. But they wouldn't be employees. Like we wouldn't be worried about, their W-2s or their 1099.
They'd be their own corporation.
But then here's the beauty of Mona. You have in your organization someone who does like taxes and stuff, right?
Yes.
They can advise them. Then you have a built-in client funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Client funnel.
Okay, so for people that have records that may have difficulty finding work, not only can they get a prepaid phone through us, but they would be able to create their own business name and be subcontractors under us. Okay, I just wanted to get that point straight because I told my brother, like he came to get me for physical therapy today, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to tell you the wrong information about this phone, deal that Dr. Yvonne has. So we just gotta wait. So he wants to do it Friday at you and I already set that up.
I think we set the time already.
Friday at, I gotta look at my calendar, but so he said he'll be ready then. So I said, okay, fine. So that's awesome.
That's the only reason I did it.
Well, that's awesome. That's good. So one of the businesses that I work with, she was one of my 5 mompreneur finalists. She was a finalist. Mm-hmm. Her company teaches convicted criminals how to trade through Forex. Yeah. So she has that too. Like she's a business coach and all that, but she has a program also for convicted felons. So this one though is a little bit easier because they can run it themselves. And they can, expand. Remember,
they were incarcerated.
Yeah.
So they've got folks that are still there that need phones. So they already have their own niche within their inner circle that
So
they
how
can
could
make
you sell
money
phones?
from.
How can you sell phones to the jail systems? We would have to ship it through or something. How we do that?
I'm not sure about that. That's why I was going to. So I had to finish. I didn't finish. So I wrote a program.
Mm-hmm.
The program was a recidivism program.
Okay.
Because of this friend. And I didn't know, like, the rock and the hard place that the system puts people in. So he had gone away for 22 years, I found out.
Wow.
Over a white woman in the South, a Black man. Yeah. So I was just like, you a stupid ass. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
from
that's
jump,
basically what
right?
I
From the
said.
beginning.
You a stupid ass from the very
From the
beginning.
beginning.
From the beginning. So anyway, after 5 years behind bars, right? Technology is going to leave you.
Right.
So the recidivism program that I wrote was for Gwinnett County. And that's where people are still actually using it. I joined the recidivism movement out here. So I'm volunteering with that. And I presented that, and they are now using it in the jail system here in Illinois. And this is giving back. This is not money. I didn't do this for money. And the only reason I did it was because of what I found out. So when people don't pay the money that the jail system wants them to pay after they get out, guess what? They put them right back in there when they miss a month. And then they make them take classes when they get out. They got to pay for that. They make some kind of medical thing they make them go do in Georgia. They got to pay for that. Everything the Georgia penal system has set up to keep these men rotating in jail. That's why
that's
I did it.
horrible.
That's why I did it.
Well, this sounds like a really good, it sounds like a really good program, and that's awesome.
That's the only reason I did it. So anyway, when it came up and the guy asked me to be the face or whatever, I basically, I said, yes, after I realized what he was willing to pay, okay, because I was like, that'll really jumpstart me, He was a fake.
Oh.
He was like, his group is a media group. He and his wife did start that group 2012 for the Olympics in Japan. They did a live stream, which is how this streaming thing came about.
Okay.
And then he asked, I think it was either T-Mobile or AT&T, can I take over your prepaid? Because if you remember, back then, nobody was talking about prepaid or nothing like that. And he started the idea. So all the companies said, we don't want to deal with prepaid because they're looking at the demographics, right? When they realized how many people, I don't know what happened, but dude disappeared. And I was like, what? And it wasn't just me. It was 9 other business people that I know of. Long and the short of it is, I was really upset because I had spent like a whole summer. I'd gotten people involved, all kinds of, I even had him where this one woman who is with Apple, she works from home. She was on vacation. She was doing all this stuff, super smart woman. Her husband actually beat her up because she didn't get the check from him.
Yeah, you were telling me that. Oh my God.
Yes, he beat her up. So after that, I was like, okay, forget it. I'm done, that kind of thing. Guess what God did? God put it right in front of my face. I got an email from a
What a blessing.
distributor. And it
Okay.
has taken me 6 months, okay, to get all my licensing and everything. And we just opened it. So we're real.
Congratulations. That's a beautiful story too. I mean, we can learn from each other. That's another reason why I love networking with other businesses, because we definitely can learn from each other and help each other not make the same mistakes and grow stronger together. But one thing I do want to ask you before, I forget, after when I'm on, I mean, wait, hold on. When I add that page of businesses to my website, and would you be able to direct me as far as the best way to advertise that, especially locally? Because I think $50 a month for you to be in rotation with 10 different media platforms, actual radio host interviewing you, and you have that interview, and actually having professional social media ads made. You're getting people referred to you.
Yeah.
So I think that is 100% where you and I will really be able to work well together on, because I like the one-on-one of it too. Like you were saying, going to restaurants, going to businesses. And then you were saying how the gentleman overseas has products. So yeah, it's all going to work cohesively together. But so I do plan on having the barbershops, and because I already have them, they're already working.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I already have. Yeah.
He's sending me the package. So I told him about you.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. The venue on Saturday is owned by a barber. His barber shop is on the other side of the venue, and he knows every other barber here. And one of my close girlfriends, who is one of the business owners that works with me, she was featured Saturday. Her husband is a barber. So, and my sister-in-law, her brother's a barber. So when you say products and let's start this and launch that, I tell people, I'm like, be ready to start with me, because I'm ready. It's like, there's no,
and people that put on those lashes. And did I send you the pictures?
You did, and it looks really
good.
Put
on the lashes, all that stuff. He makes all of that stuff.
Well, I plan on having lots of barbershops, beauty shops, boutiques on my website, and paying me per month to feature them at different times of the month. I'm not going to have them competing. I'm not going to have them competing, you know? So, but that's one of the reasons why I've kept my physical events once a month. It was beautiful Saturday. Do you know it was only 15 people? And we loved it, because it was intimate, and we could actually interact with the network. We could actually network. It wasn't 50 people. It was like my award ceremony, I think it was 65 people. It was sold out. It was great, beautiful. So it still was intimate, but it wasn't as intimate as this one past Saturday. But one of the reasons why I keep my once a month physical networking event is for this, because when you say to a business owner, oh, we can advertise for you. I have a business network of 40 small businesses. And then I say, yeah, so once a month, you'll be able to physically sell your products. It will be virtual. It will be done virtually and, physically. And so everything that we do adds value to us. You know what I'm saying? Like my events add value. The tour adds value. The interviews add value. So that's where you and I believe we're going to really, really fit well together in, because just thinking of different ways of getting to those serious people who understand that I'm drastically what do you call that when you don't ask for enough money? Like I'm drastically
You're underpaid.
I'm really
giving them and underappreciated.
But well, hopefully I will just be underpaid and not underappreciated,
Well,
because
because
once we get a certain amount of them,
yes,
right?
yes.
So once we get a certain amount of businesses signed up at the 50, then the new businesses that come on, I'll start with like your first month is 50, and then going on, it'll just be, I don't know, maybe
Remember
69.99.
threes, okay? Remember three. It is really important. That number is very important.
Okay.
It not only associates itself with the trilogy, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Yes.
But anything that comes to you comes in threes.
Okay.
Good luck, death, babies, everything comes in threes.
Okay.
So whatever you're going to do, whenever you're going to repeat something, that is the magical number, because it stays with people.
So are you saying for the first 3 months it should be $49.99 and then I should go up? Oh, okay.
Which is my idea for the phones, to get people to switch over to pay us.
Right.
Is you can get your $50 plan, but for 3 months, we give you 2% or $5 off or whatever.
Okay.
And we pay that $5 for you. And we'll do it for 3 months if you pay your bill with us.
Right. Right.
But you still get your same program. You still get your, $40 prepaid or whatever. But for 3 months, if you switch going over to Boost and just come over to Link Up, we will eat $5 of your $40 plan for 3 months.
Right.
Just to pay with us. And then before you know it, they're going to be getting their cords, they're going to be getting their phones, they're going to be getting cases. Yes.
And my companies do all that stuff. So like they bedazzle the phone cases, and see, everything I do is full circle. So like the companies would, yeah.
This was $1. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And it was $1. And I like bling. So now it's getting kind of funky, but whatever.
Well, you're going to love my cousin. She's the one that blings out the glasses, the wine glasses, the champagne glasses, and all the stuff. Yeah, she's coming to Chicago too. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. I think I have a good foundation set. You know what I mean? Like I have a good plan.
It's solid.
To start. And then as we keep going, it will just be it will just be a matter of getting the word out to the people that want what I have. Not everybody's going to want what I have,
Everybody. Now, I have to go back. You said, will you be willing to? And then you said advertising. And then you said on the page. It wasn't a complete thought, or I didn't get it.
That sounds like 3 different statements stuck together. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but it was under that one thing.
I was talking about when I upload all of the business names to the page on my actual site.
Yeah.
That's when we're going to start rolling out the advertising it to everybody. That's when we're going to be like, hey, go to MLLevents.com.
Go to the directory.
Yeah. Directory. That's the word I couldn't remember. Directory.
I'm going to introduce you to Yinka. I think we need to get Yinka in on this.
Okay. Is that the gentleman from Uganda?
No, that's Pablo. He just got started getting trained today.
Okay.
That's going to be big, because we don't ship anything or do anything without them giving us the money first. I don't trust any of that. I've been, I've had a lot of life lessons with trusting people with that.
I think we all have. We all have. I've been in business 15 years. So you can imagine being a Black woman in the entertainment field, competing with all of these chauvinistic men you know, I've been through a lot, but I'm good now. So, you know,
Well,
it took a lot. It took a lot, but I'm perfectly happy and fine with my slice of, you know, the entertainment field and my niche. I'm good with it. I work with primarily moms and dads and help them grow. And I just love the fact that now I'm going to be able to tell my team that we are international.
we
So
are.
yes. So when I upload all the businesses and stuff
Yeah.
on the website, there has to be some kind of way for us to offer that to different companies around the country that want to deal with us. Like they should be able to do the
Different
same thing,
companies
pay Mona
around the
Lisa's
country.
lyrics $50 and cross promote or something.
Oh, you mean growing the network?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be automatic. That's going to be organic.
Or
We're going to actually manifest that.
well, okay, so just as an example, let me make sure I got it right. My cousin, right? So she makes a lot of handmade things. So will I be able to say we're going to send 100 of your keychains to Uganda and they're going to be sold through there? And so
Yes,
am
we
I
will set
able
the
to?
prices. We will set the prices.
Mhm.
Because I'm actually going to open the store with Pablo there. I'm opening. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Here's the other part. Okay. I just got approved for, you know, like all the brand name things you could possibly buy, like just name something, Polo, Free
Okay.
People, name any manufacturer that you go into Bloomingdale's or
Okay.
anywhere to buy, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just got approved for a brick and mortar or online store. I got a $25,000 credit limit. A
Oh
net,
yeah, you were saying
a,
that.
a net, what is it? Net 90, I think. I think it's net 90 or net 60 to pay everything back once we make that order.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. The first orders that I make, I'm sending it to Uganda because the store, all right, we need, okay, rewind. I'm putting the store online. That's number
Uh-huh.
one. And then I'm also going to do a brick and mortar. That's number two.
So you're gonna do both. Okay.
I'm going to do both. But the brick and mortar is probably going to be in Vegas.
Okay.
My little sister has been in retail for 150 years.
Okay.
And she has been regional manager for Chico's and places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now she just went back to work because she can't stay at home. I don't know. But she's working for some store called Rainbow, which I never heard of that store.
Yeah, that's been around forever. Like
I
over 20 years. That's been, yeah. I used to shop it. Rainbow is here.
I
We've had them
didn't.
forever.
Well, I never knew it. Anyway, she told me she was at this store, and I'm like, what is that? What do they sell? Everything that's rainbows, or that was,
No, it's
and she was
it's
just
regular
like,
clothes.
she was like,
Yeah.
Paula, it's clothes. Da, da, da. I'm like, I've never heard of it. She goes, yeah, but the price point is lower, so people can buy, if they
Yeah.
don't have,
Yeah, it's
Macy's
not
money or
expensive.
whatever.
Right.
So she'll actually be here on Thursday because they're firing a whole team out here in Chicago. A whole
They're
store.
firing them?
They're firing. And her, not regional, but like the director of that area, like those states,
Uh-huh.
like she's coming in to do the firing here in Chicago. And she's bringing my sister with her. Okay.
Wow.
My sister wants her own store.
Okay.
And I want to give it to her. Because
That's wonderful.
She feeds the homeless
Okay.
out of her own money. But the thing about it is financially, they don't have Well, none of us have, like all these finances or whatever. Her husband does very good. He works well and that kind of thing. But
Okay.
Val has lupus. She's battled cancer. She has deep depression. Um, just a few things. And how I met Val, she's not my blood sister.
Uh-huh.
Her mom and dad rented one of my parents' apartments. I don't know if I
Okay.
told you about my
Uh-huh.
father. Anyway, Terry is German, she's white, from Jacksonville, Illinois, which is redneck, sheets and everything.
Yes.
And she fell for black men. Okay.
Okay.
So in the end, they ended up moving up here, and some kind of way they found mommy and papa's place, because usually we only rented to immigrants that were coming and starting over. And my
Okay.
parents like never charged anybody over $400.
Really?
And on the North Shore. Okay.
Okay.
All the houses were 2 flats or 3 flats in Skokie, Evanston, and Wilmette.
Okay.
He owned 8 properties, multi-unit properties.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the hardship that he experienced when he immigrated over here, he said he doesn't want the same for other people. So that was his way of giving back.
Okay.
And so my mother would make sure the lights were on, the gas was on, and there was food
Mm-hmm.
until they found work.
Okay.
And then once they found work, they would charge anywhere from $200 to $400 max living in those areas.
Wow.
That's how my parents gave back. So
Okay.
my father was the godfather of the Cuban Jamaican community. Like if somebody wanted to buy a house, they would go see Sada. They called him Sada. Poor
Okay.
David, right? They called him Poor David, whatever. If they wanted a car, they would go to him, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
I started real estate in junior high.
Okay.
That's why I know so much about that. Anyway, long and the short of it is that's how we met Terry, which is Val's mother. And Valerie was very rude. She was 5 years old, and her mother told her to get up and give her her purse, because my father said, okay, we'll rent to you, right?
Okay.
Valerie was 5 years old, and she said to her mother, get up and get it yourself.
What? She was 5?
She was 5. I was in junior high, and I went like this. What did you say? Because you say that to a Jamaican mother, your ass is going to be flat, right?
Wow.
And I said, get up and get your mother the purse right now. I was in junior high. I think I was in 6th or 7th grade. Girl, I raised Valerie. Valerie is now 50 years old.
Okay.
And she mentors girls. She feeds homeless, and she works full time with all those things I just told you about. And the
Wow, that's
person that she
amazing.
talks about, I mean, I'm getting chills because every time it really warms. I raised 4 children between 7th and 8th grade and college
Okay.
that were not mine,
Oh,
while
okay.
going to school and everything, teaching them those things. So Val now mentors girls that were kind of like her, feeling unloved, being verbally kind of abused.
That's a beautiful way to
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I joined that group because I don't want to do that.
Right.
But she does.
Okay.
And she doesn't have the means to do it. Not that I have the means to do it, because I'm getting back on my feet. But when the woman approached me and I looked, and it was a real franchise, it was a real deal, and I ended up getting the credit and everything, I'm like, well, give it to Val. I know she'll run the hell out of it, and I know she will make. She's been doing this for years. She just wants her own stuff.
Well, I don't blame her. That's really good. I don't blame her. This
so she'll be on Thursday. So yeah.
Well, I am going to my car. I don't know if I told you when my little brother brought my car back yesterday, he had a hose that was leaking. And he was almost in tears because he thought that I needed a new engine and he thought my gasket was, so he is like me. Like my mom had 3 with my dad and 3 with my stepdad. So it's like the first one and the first one act just like the second and the second act just like the third and the third. So my baby brother acts just like me. Like he's very animated and he's, an entrepreneur and he's, but he got upset yesterday. I said, honey, it's a car. It's gonna break down. He said, I know, but every time I try to reach my goals, I'm like, it's okay. Calm down. So luckily, a gentleman that has been doing like their cars, my brother's cars, my mom's car and all that for years. I had it told to him this morning. He goes, I'm gonna fit you in. I'll do it for you. And I'm gonna do this and that. So it turned out to be a hose and not what my brother thought it was, thank God. So I asked my son's dad, I'm like, can you help me please pay this? So I can just, continue with the rest of the month on plan, So my son's dad's like, yeah. So you know what? And that's a good example. That's the reason why my son's dad and I, we are perfect together. Being apart. We're perfect. We take care of my son so smooth. We get along wonderfully. He understands what my monetary situation is because I'm sick right now, I'm recovering and got a lawsuit, that whole thing. Anything I ask him for, like on top of child support, if he has it, he gives me no trouble giving it to me. None. Well, he does, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, look at you.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, do you ever look at yourself?
I look at myself every day for 47 years though. So I'm looking at the same person for 47 years.
You're not. You're not the same person from 47 years.
Oh no, no, I'm much better.
Give yourself credit for that. But your mind is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. And for a while, I was gone out of my son's father's life. Like we were still dealing with my son, but I wouldn't have anything at all to say. And it was killing him. And he was like, okay, listen. And so we had to come to terms with he is who he is. He's not changing. He tried, and really he did. He tried to be that, husband, and that is not in his DNA.
Right.
He's not a husband, not at all. And he tried 2 times. I'm his second wife. So he's not a husband. So he's like, listen, I want you in my life. This is how I am. I've tried to be somebody I'm not. This is who I am. Love me for who I am. We're going to get along fine. And I said, okay, fine. So I love him for who he is, but he doesn't affect me anymore. You know how you're in love with someone and the things they do?
It's like a mental thing. You and I are talking on the same level here, right? Because right now things are, and this is where, okay, I'm all over the place right now. Because one of the lessons that I learned, all right, is when you talk about personal things,
right,
with business people. That was one of the lessons that I learned because I'm a freaking open book. Okay. And I don't act like my life is perfect because it's not. I don't act like things don't affect me because a lot of things used to affect me.
Okay.
I have found solace in prayer.
Okay.
I have found solace in meditation. I have found solace in breathing. But more than anything, I have found solace in speaking my truths.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and standing in it and being proud of it and not apologizing.
Let me finish this. This is 1 second. Okay. Bye. All right. So That was my husband.
Oh, okay.
But it's still a very hard road.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things that I don't know if I didn't realize it or if my mind just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. I'm not young. I've never been young-minded. You know, I told you I started raising kids when I was in what, 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
And they're still with me today. But I think that I would love to think that people are inherently good.
I would too.
But they're not.
Nope. More often than not, they're not. No.
I've been bitten a lot of times, but I've always gotten people off the ground. I've always opened whatever they said they're going to do, because I've opened over 25 businesses, right? From the ground up. And then I've reorganized. I can't even tell you how many people I've reorganized as far as business.
Do you have that? Do you have that written down in like your introduction to new clients? Like, is that in your bio? For instance, if I say, hey, we're going to be working with Miss Yvonne Smith-Canegan out of Illinois, and so I could forward something to my whole team and say, hey, you know, this is who she is. So is that in your bio that you send out to people? Okay.
Yeah, it's in my, it's the same wording, and this is where we come with consistency, is straight across the board.
Okay.
So if you go to LinkedIn, if you go to my website, if you go to my Facebook page,
okay,
you will see the basic same statement.
Okay.
When I first came back, I did an explanation of why I was missing.
Okay.
And that was my story of, you know, not walking and my kids being 11, 9, and 4. And I kept that story up for, I'd say, a couple months. And then I realized, because I am continually working on myself. Okay.
That's important. Yeah.
And even when I had a conversation with my daughter last night, because we're going through some other things, you know, she pointed out some things to me that honestly, I didn't recognize. And when you are trying to be a good mom, when you're trying to be a good wife, trying to be a good sister or whatever, you know, you're only human. So there are going to be some things that you're like, no, but I did this, but I did that, but I did this. Not everybody's going to see that or understand where you were at mentally.
Right.
So the honesty with self is a very hard lesson. So that's why I lead with spirituality. Because I know that when God stopped me from walking, it was because he was like, hardhead, wake up.
Yeah, it's time for you to be still.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to listen to that. And that honestly has been my lesson. And I in no way have accomplished learning it totally. And I probably never will, but at least I can leave behind some things that will make substantial changes or differences inside of people that otherwise probably would have never gotten a chance or would have gotten a chance too late, you know, or just been looked over entirely.
Right.
The other thing is, I want women to realize that we truly are the backbone of every civilization.
Yes, we are. Without women being able to produce children, nobody would be here.
Yeah.
Unless you believe in the sci-fi movies where they can create, kids in a petri dish, which
Well, I already told you. I think I told you. I don't know how I got pregnant with my second one.
oh wow.
And Cody is that miracle. But then
Wow.
all of them are, because I supposedly have no working internal organs
Oh my.
from a drunk driver.
Okay.
So
And you have 3
I have
kids.
3. I would have had a total of 6, but I lost 3.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But that also is another thing. And I think that part is to talk to people when they are experiencing that loss, because when I experienced my greatest loss besides my father was my grandmother.
Okay.
And that's when I found the book On Death and Dying by
Okay.
Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. I was a junior in college. And when they found out that she had esophageal cancer and we had to take her back up from the islands and take her back here, I transferred colleges. Okay. So I went to Southern and I was there. And
so were you born in Jamaica? Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
Yes.
You're born in Jamaica. Okay.
Yeah. And I came here when I was 1.5. Okay. Right. So my grandma, like my mother's side of the family is basically in Europe. My father's side of the family immigrated here. Okay. So my grandma was going to go to like where her side was, but me and Janet, we were here. And for the 6 months that my mother had left us with her when she came, my grandma tore up the visa going to the UK. Wow. Okay. And instead, she came here. She said she could not even go to sleep without us. Oh. So she literally lived around the corner, and my father was afraid of her too. Wow. Like seriously. My grandma was the shit. Well, listen, I need to call on my car because he said it should be done now. So I'm trying to get my son's dad to come and get me, plus bring me my son so I can go get my car. And then my son is spending the night with me tonight. And then he goes back to his dad to finish out the school week. And then I get him again Friday. So, yeah. So okay. I'm going to call the dealership to see if they're done with my car. But I'm so happy that it's only a hose. Because the first quote that we got for what my brother thought it was $2,000. And I said, oh, it's going to sit in my driveway. I go, I'm not spending $2,000 on, no, and so just by the grace of God, I was praying very hard. It ended up being just $175. And I told I told my son's dad, I go, just so I can continue the month like I envision and keep up with everything, can you help me with that? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, okay. I see that it's getting better. Oh, is it? I can see. Well, I had therapy today. And she used this big old machine to massage the muscles down. And yeah. I can see. That's good. Thank you. That's good. It's so, he's here already. I hate it when he doesn't call before he comes, but I don't even complain. I'm like, come on in. I don't even complain. But let's start that with you next week. Okay. And that means that if your kids are done with a clip of us, like we can promote you for next week from, the session with me. Does that make sense? Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. All right. So I'll talk to you soon. All right. Okay. Take care. All right. You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.